have some updates on the $100 boutique. And see who messaged us. We started receiving some messages already for our photo shoot campaign. I saw the most beautiful dress. Will be one of very few, or maybe the first. But back to the trade show, there was so much swimwear. So then that had me thinking, maybe I should design one design. So what do you think? Let's start with the photo shoot updates. We started receiving some messages already for our photo shoot campaign. Now, the photo shoot didn't happen yet, but we're actually getting a response from photographers and models. Now, a few days ago, actually it's probably been almost a week, I already started responding to these messages. So I'm gonna insert that clip so you guys can see what has happened so far. I completely almost forgot that I posted the campaign for the photo shoot. I just so happened to be looking at emails and I noticed that there are a couple emails in response to the campaign. Well, at least the emails will tell me that I received a message. So I have to go on the platform now and see who messaged us. I don't know if it's photographers, models, what it is, but let me go see because some of them have been waiting a couple days, all because I forgot. So let's find out. Okay, so I'm in my account. Let me see what messages. It says 9+, but those might be old messages. Yeah, there's some in there from 2024. But we have a few. So there's 6 responses in here. So let's go through our 6 and see what we have. We have a photographer here that's available in August on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but we have to confirm by August 1st. Let's look at his work. Okay, he does swimwear. It's along the lines of resort. It looks like he did some fashion photography too. I'm gonna leave work safe mode on because I don't know if it's actual nudity or not, and I don't want to put that on YouTube. But he has some fashion stuff in here. Okay, this is a possibility. Let me just look through them all before I confirm anything with anyone. Okay, so this one looks like it's a model. Oh, duh, it says it right there. She's an internationally published model and award-winning actress. She's been in over 500 magazines, 107 magazine covers, and she's been in Playboy 12 times. She's in film, short film, TV, music videos, and she did provide her Instagram, but for right now I'm just gonna go look at her profile on here if it takes me there. Okay, let's see here. She has almost 500 photos on hers. Most of hers are work safe, which makes sense. She says that she's in Playboy and whatnot. That dress is beautiful. Okay, most of her photos we can't see. Okay, let me go back to messages. That's a model option that wants us to message him on Instagram. I'm just gonna see what is on here. Oh, his photos look good. Okay, that's another photographer option. He didn't mention his availability, nor did the model that we went through so far, but I can always message him later. This one, it doesn't say what they are, so let me see. Okay, this is a model. She's only 5'1". I didn't even look at the other models' measurements. Oh, these are all work safe. I wonder if they're actually work safe. I'm gonna click on one to see what happens. There's like a lot of the same photos that it looks like she just took of herself and put them on here. So I don't know if she actually has experience doing photo shoots or if she just likes taking pictures. Okay, let me keep going. There's 2 more. This one looks like it's a photographer. And it looks like he was a photographer for fashion shows. And he does some other fashion. That second photographer that I saw seems like the best one that I saw so far though. His photos were great. And then there's one more message. This is another photographer. It says, depending on date and location, I requested their date, like their availability. Obviously no one paid attention to that to let me, except for one. One did. The first one told us what, Wednesdays and something. Okay, I might have to blur these ones out. Yeah, I gotta blur these out. There's a lot of nude photos on this one, another photographer. I still think the best photographer so far, I think, was the second one. But the first one actually followed the instructions in the listing by providing their availability. We have options for a photographer. There's 2 options for models. I don't know if that's exactly what I'm looking for as far as the model. Let me check the other one's specs. and she's 5'3", so she's short as well. But this isn't runway, so I guess height isn't as much of a factor. But we only have 2 model responses. We have a few photographers, but there's 4 photographers, 2 models. No makeup in here yet. I'll let it keep going to see what happens, but I'll at least start replying to these that have responded so I can start actually setting this up, because I'm already at the end of the week and I need to get this photo shoot. Hopefully I can find all the product this weekend. And since that day, I've received some responses from those messages. I've also received some new messages. Why do they have to be so loud? Like, what is the point of your car being that loud? Hopefully they're done now. So I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, so since that day, I received more messages. So some were responses to the message I sent out to them, and then some are some new ones. So I'm gonna go through those right now as well to see if I can solidify this photo shoot, because nothing is confirmed yet, and I wanna do the photo shoot. Okay, so we have some responses here, which I think this is one of the models here. So she gave me her availability. Let me see what those dates are. So those dates are next week that she's not available, and then one day the week after. Let me see what everyone else is saying first before I reply to anything, because I'm trying to set up a date that works for everyone. I think this is the one that told me he has to confirm August 1st, so I'll have to wait till the end of the week to hear from him. But that was one of the photographers. We'll see what he ends up saying. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so this one's telling me early Sunday morning, and which is giving some advice about shooting in some locations in LA, which honestly, that's everywhere. Some places require permits to do photo shoots, because if they see like professional camera, any lighting equipment or anything like that, they will deem it a commercial photo shoot and permits are required. Now, the way to get around that, don't bring any lighting equipment, use natural lighting. That's why the time of day makes a difference depending on where you are. The weather is different everywhere, so you have to find the right time of day where you are. Don't use lighting equipment, use a camera. As long as there's not too many people there, they're usually fine. A lot of times I would tell them, like, it's not professional, I'm a student, I'm doing this for a project or something like that, and they typically will leave us alone, or they'll say wrap it up. That's pretty much it. It's not that big of a deal. But he's saying Sunday mornings. Let me look at what everyone else's messages are saying. She's giving a location, so let me look this up, because it's an actual place, it's not an outdoor thing. Saying it's something that's been on her list. I don't know, this looks far. Oh, and their website doesn't work. It's all the way in Palmdale. Like, girl, this was supposed to be in LA. Not all the way out in Palmdale, but it does look like a really nice studio. I'll insert in their Instagram is what I'm looking at right now, but the only issue is this is a studio, which means it's going to be paid. We're doing this for free, so it's not going to work for us. Let's see, and they're talking about permits and stuff. Okay, so yeah, we'll let that go. That's not gonna work. She's available Wednesdays and Thursdays. Okay, so that's actually another photographer. We need a model. Here's something new, and this is a model. Sorry, I'm skimming this. I'm not reading all of this, but let's see. I'll read it later. Let me just look at the profile. I'm trying to do this quickly if you couldn't tell. And then, is she another shorter model? She looks like it. Oh, she's actually taller than the other girls. 5'5". Okay. I just want to make sure the maxi dress isn't too long, so I'll have to reply back to her. This one started his message with yo. I'm sure it's a photographer. Yeah, it's a photographer. Okay, so I'll send a response to him, like similar response as before, which we have a few options for photographers already. What we really need is a model, and I don't think I've quite found that person yet, but I'll keep going. Okay, so they're not available next week, but the following week, which actually I just realized I'm not available the following week. I've been telling them in the next week or two, but I'm actually not available that week. So this might be getting pushed out towards like the end of August. But that's the thing with trying to set these up, especially when you're limited on the people because you're trying to do a free photo shoot. Lining up that timing and location can be difficult. And then the worst part of it is once you do get this all set up, you set the date and time, the location, and then there's always someone that doesn't show up. That's why, especially with the models, because they're usually the ones that don't show up, I usually try to set up multiple models in case someone doesn't show up. Haven't had it where the photographer hasn't shown up, but I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. So I still don't feel like I really have the team. I mean, there's some options for photographers. I still need to find the right model. I don't want to just use anyone. At least they should have some experience. And then we'll go from there. Makeup in here, I haven't gotten any responses on there, but that's the least of my worries, because with those models, you usually can just tell them, come here and makeup ready, and they will. But this whole situation leads to the next update. So I'll put a pause on these messages for right now. I'll respond back to those momentarily just to keep the conversations going until something is set in stone. But let's go to the next update. So I am down here trying to find the inventory for the $100 boutique. I'm not recording it today though because I'm tired, if you couldn't tell, and I don't feel like recording, but I'm gonna see what it is I can find, and then of course I'll show you the inventory later. So far I did find a swimsuit that I think would be really good. The only thing is the price was a little higher than I would want to pay, especially for a swimsuit. But if I don't find anything else, I'll go over there and see if they're willing to lower the price, since I'll be buying multiple. But we'll see, and then I'll show you everything that I find. So for the next update, the inventory update. Remember, I had to pause this photo shoot because I was getting ready to do it, 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and I realized I only have one dress. I don't have the rest of the inventory. Plus, I also realized I had a trade show to go to as well, so I couldn't do a photo shoot even if I did have the inventory. But the focus is on the inventory update right now. So I went to the Saturday sample sale and I went searching for inventory for the $100 boutique. I'm only giving myself an hour to do this, so let's hope that I can find what I need in an hour. I didn't do a live session. I didn't record at all, except for a few clips with just updates, but my focus was on finding the inventory for this boutique. I'm already past an hour and my hands are empty. I still haven't found it, so I think this is time for me to call it quits. Well, I'm gonna go back to that swimsuit and see if I can get the price lower, but that'll be it for today. I came back empty-handed. I'm so sad. I saw the most beautiful dress, would have been perfect for this boutique for that night vacation look. But the color that I wanted, they only had one size small, that was it. There was another color that could have worked, and I did like that color too. Actually, I noticed that color scheme first. That one, they had a small and medium, but no large. The man even went and looked in the back to see if he can find more, because he said they were closing this week, so this would have been the last opportunity. But they didn't have the sizes I needed. He didn't have any more in the back, that was it. And it was only $5 too, so I just left it. But that dress was beautiful, and I'm upset that I couldn't get that dress. There were a few things that I saw, but the issue I kept running into was that a lot of the styles that I liked for this boutique, they either had small and medium or small and large. It was hard to find all three sizes. There was one style that I liked that had small, medium, and large, but then there wasn't a fourth piece to buy the photo shoot sample. And honestly, I must not have been that crazy about it, because I walked away and said I'll figure something else out. If not, I'll come back to that. And I completely forgot what the item was. I know it was a dress, but I don't remember what the dress looked like. I don't even remember which vendor I saw it at. I just remember seeing one. So obviously it wasn't something that stuck with me much, so not too worried about it. The first item that I saw as soon as I got there was a swimsuit that was cute and it fit the theme. The pricing was a little more than what I wanted to spend. It was $10 per piece. Now, $5, I would have gone for it. 10, not so much. But they had all the sizes, and I would have been able to buy a photo shoot sample. So I considered it, but I decided, because I had just gotten there, literally just got out of the car and was just passing by to get to the area that I wanted to start at, that's when I saw that swimsuit. So I decided I'll go and shop around, see what else I find, because I just got there anyway. If I don't find anything else, I'll come back to the swimsuit and I'll try to negotiate the pricing. Well, after spending almost 2 hours shopping for this boutique, I told myself it was only going to be an hour, but I ended up spending 2. I was gonna go back to the swimsuit, but when I got over there, first of all, there was so many people at that vendor at that point. I was exhausted and I really didn't care about the swimsuit anymore. So I didn't even bother negotiating it. I just left it. If it's there again next weekend, I'll buy it. That means it's meant to be. But I'm gonna insert a picture in here and you can let me know what you think of it. Maybe I'm just becoming desperate now because I have this money burning a hole in my pocket that I need to spend on this boutique. So maybe it's meant for me to leave it there, or maybe I should have bought it and I just wasn't thinking straight because I'm hoping to find something better. And then there was this dress. Beautiful gown. Unfortunately, I didn't take a picture of it because my mind was so stuck on the fact that they did not have the inventory I wanted. One of the colors had a couple sizes. I think there was 2 smalls and 1 medium, but there was no large. The color that I liked the most, there was only 1 small. The gentleman that worked there, he even went looking in the back to see if he can find me more because that's how stuck I was on this dress. But they didn't have any more. And then he also told me they're closing their showroom that Saturday that I was there. That was their last day. Because I considered buying the sample, the size small, just for photo shoot to use for marketing. But I didn't want to buy that and then not be able to get inventory later. Because I can promise you, once I photograph that dress and use it in marketing, that will be the dress that people come to the website to buy, and then we don't have it. So I didn't end up getting the sample. I didn't buy anything that Saturday for this boutique because nothing was fitting what I needed. Either it was sizing, it was pricing, or it was inventory. So I left empty-handed. So we still only have 1 dress for this boutique, and I need to figure something else out, and I need to figure it out quick. Clearly, photo shoot's not happening this week anyway, so at least I have another day to make it happen. But I gotta figure out something. One more quick update. Well, actually there's 2, but the third update that I have is the pricing. I sat on pricing just trying to think about what to do as far as the pricing. In the last video, I talked about how I feel wrong pricing a $5 dress at like $100 plus, even if other brands are selling it at that pricing. It just feels criminal to me. I can't do it. But I also know that the marketing that I'm getting ready to do behind this brand and the brand image, the brand identity I'm getting ready to create is going to be more on that luxury end. It's not going to be that fast fashion brand or like a mass market brand. I don't want to be known as like a Shein or anything like that, but I also don't want to be extremely overpriced where we're ripping people off. That's not who I am. Someone made a comment and said that you can still be luxury but not price that high because that is a ripoff. And that is very true, and I agree with that. So I decided that for this pricing strategy and for the brand identity, we're going to become that affordable luxury brand. We'll be one of very few, or maybe the first. I don't even know if there's one out there like it. And that's what's going to set us apart. So we're going to be this luxury brand. I'm going to do my best to make it look as high-end as possible, but the price point is going to be budget friendly. This is about helping people that may not have the funds to be in that high-end market, but they want to look and feel high-end. So let's create that brand for them. Let's open up that avenue where people can shop high-end on a budget. So that'll be the brand identity here. So as far as the $5 dress, I wrote it down and I've been debating between $19 and $29. So it is going to be affordable, but it's still going to have what I wrote down as perceived luxury. So we're going to create the image of luxury. We're going to create an experience of luxury, but it's going to be on a budget. Because that's at the end of the day what this boutique is about anyways. We're creating a full-on boutique with a $100 budget. So let's pay it forward and actually help our customers too to create that luxury lifestyle on a budget. So pricing strategy is pretty much set. Between 19 and 29 is like the price point of where I'll be at. That's still a really good profit margin. You can still generate revenue off of there, and you're blessing someone else by helping them out on that price point versus ripping them off. So now for the last update of this video.
If you like.
So in my previous video, I talked about how I had to go to a trade show, but that trade show was for me personally, for my own brands. It had nothing to do with this boutique. It was just something I needed to go do. Well. To my surprise, I get to this trade show, and guess what I'm seeing in every direction that I look? Swimwear fabric, swimwear hardware, swimwear manufacturers, ready-made goods
really
that are
neat.
swimwear. When I tell you it was swimwear after swimwear, I didn't find anything that I needed. I went for clothing fabrics, apparel fabrics. This was all swimwear. I did meet a really good manufacturer there that could do sportswear really well. I don't think I recorded anything, but I'll see what information I can get from her that she can send to me. But back to the trade show, there was so much swimwear. I couldn't believe it. I went here for apparel, and I said this was for me and my brands, and it had nothing to do with this boutique, but everything is resort wear related. It turned out that Tex World had partnered with some other trade show who focuses on swimwear and intimates. So that's a majority of what was there. It's not what I went for, but that's how life works. So as I'm walking the show, of course I'm still looking, because I do still produce swimwear for Nouveau Rich Apparel.
Are you sourcing team or design team?
Design.
Design.
Well, I actually own the brand, so I'm actually the founder, but I do the designing too.
But that's not what my focus was going there. But as I was going through and I'm seeing a lot of the hardware, the fabrics, even some of their designs, it's giving me that inspiration to design resort wear. Now, my creative mind is now going into, I should just design a collection for Salt and Soleil instead of buying ready-made goods at Wholesale. But I already know I can't design and buy the inventory on a $100 budget. But boy, trust me, I was ready to design a collection as I'm there, because the ideas started flowing as I started seeing a lot of this product there. So then that had me thinking, maybe I should design one design. It can be a hero piece for the collection. So it is that opener for the collection. It is that item that is going to define Salt and Soleil. So I thought about it. Maybe design one item. I don't have to buy the inventory for it yet. I can just design the item, have the sample made, because I can do that within a $100 budget. I can even sew the sample myself, to be honest with you. But I can design and produce one sample and then also use that for marketing too. And then at least with that design, if it does photograph well, if it does work well in the marketing, and if there is demand for it, because remember, we're going to start marketing before we even launch. So if we start getting feedback on that sample, then I can go ahead and actually produce it. So what do you think? Should I design one design? I can do it within the $100 budget. It won't take up the whole budget, so I can still go find other pieces in the fashion district to add into the collection, so we still have some inventory, and then we'll have that one sample that's designed specifically for Salt and Soleil, and people can't get that anywhere else. So we can do a mix. There can be some design, there can be some products purchased. I'm starting to think that I should do that, but I know that's me, and my mind starts racing. I start getting all these ideas. So what do you think? Slow me down if I need to stop and just focus on buying products, or let me know if I should at least start designing some pieces for this collection. But that's it for this week's update. We have some conversations flowing for photo shoots. We don't have new inventory, but we do have a pricing strategy now. So now when I'm shopping, I know what my end price point is going to be, which is really helpful when buying wholesale. And I may be updating the direction that we're going in when it comes to our products. Now, right now, at this phase of the boutique, things are kind of stagnant until we actually have products that I can use for the photo shoot, and we have the photo shoot set in stone, which is looking like it may not happen for another 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not going to keep bothering you guys with these random small updates. If I have something major to share with you, I will come back and share it with you. But if it's not something major, like I need to work on the operations, I need to create the brand page. Unless you want to see that, you can comment below, but otherwise I won't update you on those. If anything, I'll take an intermission from this challenge, and then when we have some true updates and we're making some progress, I'll come back and update you. But until then, we may pause it from here until we decide what direction we're going in next and we solidify this photo shoot.